Hey guys, I got an interesting video here for you guys today. It's gonna be about self-esteem and also about confidence as well, like self-esteem and confidence. I'll explain why in a second, but if you don't have, like, if you're like, oh Jack, I don't need to see this video, I have high self-esteem or high self-confidence, it doesn't matter, you should still watch this because you can help other people that might be struggling with this issue and kind of explain to them like what's going on. So I'm gonna jump right into it, okay? So let's say for example, you had a friend, doesn't matter, it's a guy or a girl, whatever. You have a friend, and let's say you're going out to dinner with them or something, and you're like, okay, meet me here at like 7, and then they like totally like just don't show up. Or like, let's say you're going to see a movie with them and they show up like an hour late or whatever, like they're just super like unreliable, I guess, right? Or let's say you are, planning on going to some festival or whatever, and then like last minute he just kind of like flakes on you or she flakes on you or whatever, okay? Would you trust this person? And I hope the answer is no, you're not gonna be able to trust this person, right? And so think about this from this angle now. What if that person was you? What if you told yourself that you're gonna do something? Let's say, for example, you told yourself that you're gonna start, meditating every single day. Or you told yourself that you're gonna go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. Or you told yourself that you're gonna be, studying hard this week or whatever, X amount of hours or whatever else it might be. You told yourself those things, but do you always follow through with it? That's the real question. Do you always follow through with it? Or do you kind of break these little promises that you make to yourself? So that's gonna be at the core of this right here. So self-esteem is like where you don't really 100% believe in yourself or trust in yourself, and this could end up being a big problem. And one of the reasons that is very likely because you broke or have broken or still are breaking a lot of the promises that you've made to yourself. Okay, so ask yourself, do you break the promises you make to yourself? Do you tell yourself you're gonna do things and then just like find excuses not to do it, or just forget about it, or just kind of, just like forget about it and like never get back to it? Is that something that you ever do? So when you begin to trust yourself, you're gonna build self-confidence, okay? So if you say you're gonna do something, regardless of how small it is, it could be small, it could be big, it doesn't matter. If you say you're gonna do something, then you really want to follow through on that and actually do it, because every little time you keep those little promises to yourself, you're building self-esteem and self-confidence. And every time you break those promises you make to yourself, guess what's happening? You're not going to trust yourself anymore. Like how many times, like let's say like everyone knows somebody that's been like really overweight, and they always say, I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to go on a diet. And then they don't do it continuously, or they'll do it for like a little while and then they'll stop, right? How can you trust yourself anymore if you keep telling yourself you're gonna go on a diet, but then you don't follow through with it every single time? It doesn't have to be diet, it could be anything. It could be, like I said, going to the gym, meditating. It could be just the smallest little things that you tell yourself, those small little promises you make to yourself that you don't follow up with, that are hurting you, they're hurting your self-esteem. So if you keep the promises you make to yourself, that equals that you'll begin to trust yourself on a deep level, which equals self-esteem. So let's say you do all those things, those small things you told yourself you're gonna do. Like if you're like, you made a decision, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. And you actually follow through with it long term. Guess what's gonna happen to your self-esteem? Like now you trust yourself. Some people, you might think that you can just kind of let yourself down, and that's okay. Like, you won't, some people will be okay with letting themselves down, but they won't let other people down, kind of thing. But if you let yourself down, your subconscious is always listening. You think you're just gonna like forget about it and all's gonna be good, but your subconscious is always listening. It's always aware. It's always processing what's going on. And if your subconscious mind sees that you're always just telling yourself, basically your subconscious mind is like, dude, if you have low self-esteem, your subconscious is like, you're full of shit. I can't even trust you anymore. Like, your subconscious is talking to you. He says, I can't trust you anymore because you keep saying you're gonna do things, but you never follow through. You never actually do it. So I hope this video is gonna drive you guys into action. Those small little things. I don't care how small it is. Even if it's like, I'm gonna do the laundry today, get it done because you said you were gonna do it. If you make a decision either out loud or inside your mind to do something, then you've got to go ahead and do that, because every single time you don't, like I said, it's going to be hurting your self-esteem and your self-confidence. I hope this video finds you well. And if you guys have any comments or anything like that, I'd love to chat about this. But super important topic here, because this is at the root of, self-esteem is basically at the root of all success. Like, you can't be a huge success if you don't have strong self-esteem and a strong belief in yourself that you're able to do things. And that's something that I believe that you can cultivate. You don't have to be born with that, right? You don't have to be taught that when you were younger. It'd be better if you were, but you can switch that at any point in your life. Once you decide, you're like, that's it. I'm ready to trust myself with every little thing, and then just get to work and actually do that. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any comments or anything like that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.